Don't you have a stand for it?
Yeah, I got it.
Let's put it on a stand.
I will. When you take it, all right.
That good?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, anytime you want to start.
Okay. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you some slides to start with. And then I'll get into some of these tricks that I had showed you. And this way you'll better understand them. You know, you'll be better understand what I'm talking about. Now, first of all, the first thing that I would like to show you is called the force. This is when you force a card on somebody, okay? And what I mean by that is, we square the deck up like this here, and you look at the bottom card. See the bottom card? Right? It's the two of spades, right? So this is called the overhand shuffle, see? And you go like this here until you bring the two of spades to the top. See, here's the two of spades, it's right there, see it? Okay. Now the next thing you do is you tell the person, say, I'm going to ruffle my finger over the cards, and you take the two center fingers. See these two center fingers? The small finger does nothing. The first finger goes behind the deck, like this here. The two center fingers go here, and the thumb goes here, like this, see? And you go, tell me when to stop. And when they say stop, you do this here. You slide these out, but you see that card there? Can you see it? Can you see what's happening here? And you say, that's when you told me where to stop. Here's the card you picked. And unbeknown to them, they got the two of spades. Now, because it's the force, you know what the card is. See, now you know what the card is, the two of spades. Now, there's so many things that you could do with that, it's ridiculous. Now, first of all, one of the things you could do with this, just one, is you could take that two of spades and you tell them, say, look, put it anywhere in the deck and shuffle the deck up. So the guy puts it in the middle of the deck and he shuffles up the deck. We'll say he shuffled up the deck. So now you're going to say, now I got to find the card. So you go like this here, see? And you start looking for the card. Now you take some cards, you put them in the back like this here. But then you put some cards in the front. Now there's a reason for this. The reason is that if you kept doing this until you come to your card, then he'll know you did something wrong. So you put some in the front, some in the back. Now here's the two of spades. So you go T-W-O-O-F-S-P-A-D-E-S, and then you put the rest like this here in the back. Now you say to him, okay, I can't find your card, but I want you to find it for me in a very special way. And the guy says, okay, what do you want me to do? So I want you to take the cards like you're going to deal them, and you always use this as the example. Ace of clubs. Now why do you use the ace of clubs? Because that's got the least amount of letters in it. ACE is 3 letters, the of is 2 letters, that's 5, and clubs is 5, so that's 10 letters, okay? So if I said anything but the 2 of clubs and the ace of clubs, they both have 10 letters, by the way. So I say, the example is, let's assume your card is the ace of clubs. You go A-C-E, spell of, O-F, and then spell the suit, and turn the last letter of the card over. C-L-U-B-S, and you turn the S over. Can you do that for me? And they go, yeah, okay. So now they start to spell their card. T-W-O-O-F, always make sure they spell of. And then when they spell the suit, they go S-P-A-D-E, turn the S over. And you go, voila. And they go, oh my God. See, it's a very simple trick. Very, very simple trick. And once you learn this, it's amazing. You know, they'll think you're Houdini, you know, and they're really simple things to do.
Right.
It's not very hard. All you got to do is to do the force is you put the 2 fingers here. Now you got this finger, the front finger goes behind the deck here, and then you take the thumb and you shuffle the cards like this. Now if you do it with the other hand, you could do the same thing with the other hand. You know what I mean? If you use the left hand instead of the right hand. Now you're going to use a bridge deck anyways, you know. All right, now here's another thing you could do. Now that's called the force, okay? Now let's assume that you wanted to palm a card. There's 2 ways there's many different ways you could palm a card, okay? Now this is the invisible steel, they call this. This is when you take the cards like this here, you put them in your hand, and you go forward like that there. You can't really see what happened, right? But look what happened. I got the card right in my hand. Now, how did that happen? It's because what I did is I did this particular steal, which may be difficult for you to do, but I'm going to show you anyways how to do it. You take this small finger here, see? And you just wet it a little bit so it gets a little sticky, and you put it right on the corner of the cards like this. See, right there? Right on the corner, like that. So the meat of the finger is on the top of the card, right there. Now you go like this here. You hold the cards like this here. The thumb is almost to the side of the back of the cards, and you go forward. Now, as you go forward, here's what happens. See what happens? The card goes right into the hand. See, that's one way to do it. That's called the invisible steal. Now, if you can't do that, here's a nice way to do it. This is another way that I figured out you could do it. You take these two fingers here, the meat of these two fingers, you wet them just a little bit, and when you go to grab these cards, what you do is you just slide it forward and you pop that right up into your hand. See? Watch. You just slide it forward. Now watch it pop right up into my hand. See? Slides right into your hand, and this is how you hold the card. The one corner goes into the meat of the thumb here, because if you don't have it there, look what happens. The card goes right back there, see? So you got to hold the card in your hand, so you hold it like this, and always keep your fingers closed. Now, if you keep your fingers in this position, this is natural, okay? This is a natural look. I could actually put my hand on somebody's arm with this card in my hand, and they won't feel it. I've done it. You know, I could say, all right, are you ready now? Do you know how to do that? And I go like this here, see? And they don't even know I got the card in my hand. They can't feel it. But if I did this on their hand, they'll feel it. But on the arm, they can't tell, see? All right, so that's one way of stealing a card for you. You could just slide it forward and pop it right up into your hand if you want to do that. That's another steal that you can use. Now, when you pop it up in your hand, the first thing you want to do is slide the whole deck over to the edge like this here. Because what that implies is that's all you're holding is this deck of cards like this here. It doesn't mean you got a card in your hand, see? All these little things mean, they're all psychological moves, you know. That's what magic is. When a person's looking at your hands, he doesn't realize this stuff, but it's all psychological. If you hold the cards in this position like this here, they'll think there's nothing in your hand. If you do it right. It's got to be done with practice and smooth. All right, now I wanted to show you, here's another thing you could do. Those are called two steals. Now, you could take, okay, let's see. Oh, this is what I wanted to show you. This is called a hop. Now, what you do is you hold the cards like this here in your hand, see? And the guy says, okay, this is his card, the King of Clubs. You sell him. All right, put the King of Clubs here, right here on the top. So now he puts the King of Clubs there. And you cover the cards like this here, see? Now here's what happens. Did you see anything? No. Okay. That's because here's what happens that they don't see. Here's the King of Clubs. See, it came right to the top. I hop the cards. This is what's called a hop. Now I'll show you what I mean. Here's the King of Clubs. We'll put it back here. Now as I join the two packs together, here's what I do. I take this finger, the third finger, 1, 2, 3. And I put it on the back of the cards without them seeing it. And then I take the last finger and the second finger, and I hold the cards in this position, like this. Now under that here, I'm going to expose it for you. See? See how that opens up? Did you see that? See, it opens up like this here, and then it goes over here, and that's called the hop. I'm bringing the half the deck to the top. But they don't see it because if you do it right, this is what they see. Watch. They see this. See, they don't see that. All they see hardly anything if you do it nice and smooth. All right? So now you got a couple of sleights that you can use. Now here's another one I wanted to show you. This is called the double lift. If I took a card nice of this, like this here, now you could do this. A lot of times I do this with guys. Just to show them how amazing magic can be. I say, is this your card? And the guy says, no. And then I throw it down like that there. And I said, what was your card? And the guy says, well, it was the King of Spades, see? what happened here's what happened. See, here's the 4 of spades, see? What I did is I double lifted 2 cards. See, I double lifted them. Now what I did is this here. This is how you hold it to do this. This is called a flick. This is what that's called. It's called a flick. You take 1, 2 fingers on that side. You take the meat of the card goes into the corner here, the thumb of the corner of your hand, and you got to make sure that these are perfectly squared, because if they're just off a little bit, they can see the other card. See, you got to make it look like there's only 1 card. Now, as you go like this here, as you're turning over, you flick that card out, and I'll do it in slow motion for you. Here's what happens. See, you start sliding the finger forward, that comes out, and this comes like this here. Now, if you do it fast, here's what they don't, this is all they see. You say, that's your card? What did you see? You say, how did you see? Nothing. Now, the next thing you could do is, as soon as you do that, go right to the pack. And like you're squaring the pack up, you're picking up the pack, see? And you get rid of the card. And then you could say, oh, this is your card? And he goes, how the heck did you do that, see? So that's called the flick, and that's called the double lift. You double lift the cards like this here. You put 3 fingers to the front here. You put your your finger, your first finger here, and you come to the back and you lift up 2 cards at the back. You look at them, see, like this here. Then you come across and you bend them a little bit, and that squares them right up. That makes sure that they're squared. Make sure you're squared before you turn it over. See? Then you make the double lift. You go like this here, called the flick, and it's done. Now you could either do it like that and put it back here, or you could say, what was your card? The guy said the king of spades. So what was the card that I showed? You said the 4 of spades. Oh, well, you see in my pocket, and you go into your pocket, see, like this here, and you say, look, here's where the 4 of spades was. It was in my pocket. But they don't know it, see? But what you're doing is, they think you're going into your pocket to get the 4 of spades. Right. What you're really doing is you're going into your pocket to put it there, and then take it out, see? And it looks like you took it out of your pocket. You know what I mean? Okay? Right. So that's, I thought that would be very interesting for you to know that. And you could play this over and over again, to refresh your memory on this stuff. Right. Now I wanted to show you the breakfast trick. Now I've showed you the breakfast trick, but I'm going to go over it with you one time. So it's for the wording, see? Say, now I'm going to show you the breakfast trick. What you do is before you start it, you close the box up like this, because you're going to use this box too, see, when you do it. First thing you do is you say, okay, what I'm going to do, first of all, is I'm going to shuffle the cards up a little bit. So here's what happens. I'm shuffling the cards like this here. Now it looks like I'm shuffling them, doesn't it? Huh? Well, actually, I'm not shuffling them. What I'm doing is I just retain some of the top cards, because I want the top cards. See, on the top there's the 4 jacks. They're on the top, see? And here's how you do that. You take your fingers, the second finger and the thumb here, and the second finger and the thumb here, and what you do is you peel off about, I don't know, 6, 8 cards, whatever, I peel off enough cards like this here. And what you do is, here's what you do. You drop them down, and then you take the rest of the deck and you put it down on top of it. And you have a little jog here. See that little jog? Now you pick up all the cards, like this here. Now they can't see the jog. They can't see it, but there it is. See it? See the jog? Now here's what happens. You start peeling cards off the top, you drop them down. You peel cards off, you drop them down. What you're doing is you're working your way toward that jog. See? Eventually what happens, you come right to the jog and you put it right back on top. So it looks like to them you just mixed all the cards up, see? Now what you do is, remember the force? I showed you the force? You go, okay, now I'm going to show you. Now you go, tell me when to stop. You tell one person. Stop, okay. You say, okay, I stop right here. But don't show them the cards. Just don't show them the cards at all. Say, okay, now tell me when to stop. Let's tell the second guy. Okay, he says stop. I put it right here. Now usually what I do, you don't have to do this because you could mess up too, if you're not careful. I usually shuffle them again. So I do a couple more shuffles because that makes it really amazing. I say, how could he get those 4 jacks? And I see them shuffle the cards. Now you go, tell me when to stop, you do the force again. And then you tell the 4th guy, tell me when to stop, you do the force again. And now you got the 4 cards. Now you say to him, here's what we're going to do. This is called the breakfast trick. We're going to make pretend that this little box is a stove, and these 4 cards are the ingredients for breakfast. That's a half a dozen eggs. This is a cup of milk. This is 2 cups of flour, or a cup of flour, whatever. And this, of course, could be butter, sugar, whatever you want, you know. We're going to put this over here like this, sir. Now they say, okay, that's the ingredients. Now we got to do something. We got to put something on top of the deck. We're going to put a cover on the stove. See? Now I got to do this. I'll have to use this here for now. But you should always have a couple of small items with you to assist you in the trick. Man, I better put it this way, like this. Now you say, what I'm going to do with the rest of the deck is I'm going to take the rest of the deck. Now we're going to pretend this is wood. Now you take about 25% of the cards that are left, and you put them right here, right on the white edge. See the white edge? Put them on the white edge. Now you take about, I don't know, about maybe a third of the cards here. Take about that many cards, and you put them on this edge over here, like so. Then you take some more, and you put them on this edge. Now the lightest deck, the lightest part is this real thin piece left. It goes over here, because it doesn't need much to make that, to do the trick. Now you ask them, say in Oregon and in Washington State, that's where the big tree country is, and that's where all the lumberjacks are, a lot of lumberjacks. Now they eat a hearty breakfast, right? What could you make with these ingredients? Eggs, flour, milk, and sugar or whatever. No, they're liable to say anything, but you know, if somebody says pancakes, they're good. There's another name for pancakes. What's their name? What do the lumberjacks call them? And they'll say flapjacks once you say lumberjacks. Say, well, let's see if they're ready. Now, when you pick up the top off the stove, pick it straight up. Because you don't want to do this, you got to pick it up quick. Say, let's see if they're ready. And you go like this here. Oh, it didn't work. See? All right. And you flip it over, and they come over. See, and it's supposed to flop over for you. But this is a new deck. When you have a new deck, sometimes they don't work too well. You know, you got to have a deck that's broken in, but it'll flap over for you. But it's a real simple trick. Once you know the force, that force that I showed you, simple force. You know, you learn the sleight first before you learn the trick.
Right.
You know.
Good.
And of course, then you'll have it.
Call this a double lift?
Yeah, put them in the middle.
Okay, go ahead.
So what happens is you're looking at the bottom card again, right? Like this here. Now this is called the overhand shuffle. We know the bottom card's a 5 of hearts. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring the 5 of hearts up to the top. And when you look at the card, you can't make it look obvious that you're looking at the bottom card. Just make it look like you're squaring the cards up, see? Now we got the 5 of hearts on top, right? Okay. Now you go like this here. You lick those 2 center fingers there, the 2 center fingers. This finger does nothing. This goes in the back, the forefinger, and the thumb. You tell me when to stop, and when they say stop, you say, okay, this is where you picked. And they don't know, but they picked the 5 of hearts, see? Okay? All right, now you know it's the 5 of hearts, okay. Put it anywhere in the deck, you tell them. And they say, okay, shuffle them up, you tell them. I just want you to know that I'm not using any sleight of hand, you tell them. See, they don't know you already use sleight of hand. All right, now they shuffle them up. Now, you say, I got to find the card. Now, like I said before, you go like this here when you're looking for the card. Some of the front, some of the back. Now, here's the 5 of hearts right here. F, I, V, E. Now, I could do this. Never mind that. Well, I already showed you that. What I wanted to do is this here. I'll just put it on top like this here. I put it back on top, see? Now, here's what I do. Watch. I say, now, you remember the card that you just picked? And the guy says, yeah. Okay. Say, now, you see this card here? You see that card? The guy says, yeah. What's that card? The guy says, the 4 of hearts. All right, put your hand on the 4 of hearts. Put your hand right on it. So the guy puts his hands on the 4 of hearts, right? Now keep your hand there. I says, don't let that 4 of hearts go down from under your hand. Now, you remember the card that you had picked? The guy says, yeah. Okay. Now, what I did in the meantime, what I just did is I palmed off the 4 of hearts. See? I palmed it off. I did a double lift. The guy says, okay, turn the 4 of hearts over. The 5 of hearts. Well, where's the 4 of hearts? Well, look, you see in my pocket here, I got the 4 hearts. See, so you could use the double lift to do that. See, you can do so many different things with these sleights. Once you learn these sleights, there's no end to what you could do with them. Okay, so that you understand that. Now let me go over the false shuffle with you one more time. What you do is you take a few cards, about, I don't know, maybe half a dozen cards, drop them down, and then you drop the whole deck on top of it with that jog. See that jog? Now you pick the jog up and the cards. You see the jog? Okay. They can't see it because your hand's in the way. Now you peel some cards off the top. Peel some cards off the top, off the top, off the top, off the top. They keep coming off the top until you come to the jog. Here's the jog. See the jog? And eventually the jog goes right back on top. And there's what the card stays. It stays on the top of the deck. But it looks like you shuffled the cards up. So if you learn to use this force that I showed you, you can do anything. Anything. All you got to do is know what the bottom card is. The bottom card's a 6 of spades. Here's what you do. You just work the 6 of spades up to the top. Once it goes up to the top, you do the force. Over here, tell me when to stop. Boom. This is the card you picked. You know the card already. Now you can either do what I just showed you, or you could do the other thing like I said before. You can take the 6 of spades and go S-I-X-O-F-S-P-A-D-E-S. See? Tell them, say, spell your card out loud. The guy goes S-I-X-O-F-S-P-A-D-E-S. 6 of spades. So that's another way you can use that force. There's many things you can do with the force. A lot of different things. So, I just hope that
Great.
some of that stuff helps you.
Great. Great. Okay, now.
All right, now let's say you force the card on them. The way to force, this force here, the slip. They call that the slip. See? All right, now you slip the 6 of spades on them, right? Now you know it's the 6 of spades because you've seen it on the bottom of the deck, right? Okay, now here's something else you could do with this. Now what you do is, you take the 6 of spades, you go look for the 6 of spades like this here, see? You look for the 6 of spades and put it on the bottom of the deck again. Don't let them see you do it, bud. Don't let them see you do it because they already picked the card. Now, move it to the top of the deck, like you're shuffling cards. See, like this here. Say, now, do you remember your card? They say, yeah. It looks like you just mixed them up some more. But what you did is you moved it to the top. Now you lick these 2 fingers right here, and when you go underneath like this here, lift up half of the deck right here. Lift up half the deck, and you pull that card out. You see it coming out off the top? And where's it going? It's going right into the middle of the deck. You see it? See it sliding right into the middle? And you slide it right into the middle like this here. If you practice that enough, you'll get it so that they'll never see it. Then you go say, now I want you to watch something. I got the cards face up toward the ceiling, right? You say, right. Name the card that you picked. The guy says a 6 of spades. Okay, I'm going to do this so all the cards are faced up except for one. There it is. One card is reversed in the deck. The guy says, yeah. He says, look, it's the 6 of spades. See? So that's another way, that's another sleight that you can use. These are all nice sleights. So, but you got to have a bridge deck because your hands are a little smaller than mine. I got big hands and I can use this. You got to go buy yourself some bridge cards. Okay, this is called Do As I Do. Now, to do this trick, you need 2 decks of cards. But always remember to tell the spectator, you have to do as I do. That's the name of the trick. Don't do anything that I don't do. If you do something different, I can't do the trick with you. All right? You have to do as I do. All right, the guy says, okay. Say, okay, now here's what we're going to do. We got 2 decks of cards. You got the blue deck, and I got the red deck. Now, as you do that, you pick the deck up and you square them up. And as you square them up, you look at the bottom card, which is the 3 of spades. See? Say, now here's what I'm going to do with you. I'm going to give you the red deck, and I'm going to take the blue deck. Now you have to do as I do. Now you spread them out. The guy spreads them out. He spreads his cards out like this. Right? He spreads them out. Now I'm going to pick a card from your deck. And you pick a card from my deck. Now look at it and remember it, because I'm going to remember this card. All right, okay, now I'm going to put it on top. Now the guy takes a look at his card and he puts it on top, right? Now we know the three of spades is on the bottom. Say, okay, now you got your card, right? Now cut the cards. All right, complete the cut, okay? I'll cut my cards and complete the cut. Now, you want to cut them again? Yeah. Cut them again, complete the cut. You can do it again if you want. Don't make any difference. I'll cut mine again, complete the cut. All right, now I'm going to give you back your deck. And I'm going to take my deck back. Now I want you to take the same card out of your deck that you took out of my deck. The same card. Now the card that he took out of my deck was the 5 of clubs. That was the card. So I said, go on your deck and get the 5 of clubs out. So he goes like this here, and he goes into his deck and he pulls out the 5 of clubs. All right? Now I don't know what it is. All I know is I'm looking for the 3 of spades. So I go in here and I start looking for the 3 of spades. And look what's alongside of it, the 5 of clubs, see? Right alongside of it. Now I say, put it face down on the table, and when I count to 3, we're going to turn our cards over. You ready? 1, 2, 3. And the card goes over, and it's the 5 of clubs. And he'll go nuts when he sees you do that. So it's a nice trick.
Great, great.
So I just thought I'd let you know that. I think that's about it, you know.
Great.